Oh my god, I'm still not used to seeing my new haircut on the camera. So I went to the hairdresser and I told him, hey, I wanted to grow out my hair, so just thin the hair out. And he was like, I can trim it a little bit, trim the split end. And then I was like, no, it's fine. And he proceeds to trim off 7 centimeters off of my hair, and now it's so short and it's so round. I'm slowly transforming into little Antonio. Let us be glad. Let us be grateful. That was so bad. I'm sorry. Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. Don't worry, I am not here to talk about my gradual transformation into little Antonio, but between getting the same haircut that I have when I was 7 and also hanging out with childhood friends and family over the holidays, and I guess it's January, and January is the prime month to start looking back because you're like, oh my god, it's a new year. Where has time gone? You feel existential and stuff. But honestly, between all of those things, core memory started to unlock for me, and there was this specific core memory that I have of this Powerpuff Girls album where they do cover songs of 2000 hits or something. It was so weird because I remember this album very vividly. Like, I went to Distara in Indonesia and I bought the cassette. Like, do you guys remember cassettes? Do you guys even know cassettes? It's a thing that Peter Quill uses, and it goes like... Anyway, I really remembered this album vividly, but unfortunately I was not able to find it, which is a little bit sad. I think it got, donated or something because we don't have a cassette player anymore, but I have such fond memories of this album because I am such a huge fan of Powerpuff Girls. Like, when I was young, the show was my whole personality, honestly. But I got super curious about the album and I wanted to listen to it over the holidays. But imagine my surprise when do you hear the sirens in the back? Anyway, I wanted to listen to the songs over the holidays, so I was trying to look it up on Apple Music. Yes, I use Apple Music, please don't judge me. So I was looking up the songs on Apple Music and I didn't realize how hard it was going to be to find it. But I don't think it's actually available on streaming platforms. So I did a little bit more digging and I found out that this album was released exclusively in Indonesia and Australia because, we don't have a lot of information about this album. I thought I should share my findings to everyone just because, maybe you're a fan of Powerpuff Girls and you're looking for extra content from them, and then share my thoughts and review of the album. And I thought it'll be a good opportunity to talk a little bit about media tie-ins and why it could be important. So sit back, relax, and come on this journey with me as we take down, a stroll down memory lane, I guess. Again, there's not much information known about this album. I sort of wish that I could buy it again just so I can look through, I don't know, what do you call the leaflet, the pamphlet inside the albums where there's the lyrics and the information about publishing. I sort of wish that I had the capacity to buy the album so I can give more information about it. But the thing is, it's pretty expensive and I don't have the money for that. Maybe for another video, in a follow-up video to this. So I'm just going to relay the information that I found on the internet, which isn't a lot. So when I started researching this album, I didn't know the title of the album. So I just typed in on Google, Powerpuff Girls cassette cover songs, Kylie Minogue, because I remember they covered a Kylie Minogue song. And then I found out that the album is called The Day Is Saved. And there's actually a record of this information on the Internet Archive. So the Internet Archive describes the album as a rare album of the Powerpuff Girls and Mojo Jojo covering pop songs at the time. It was released in 2002 in Indonesia, then in Australia in 2003 in a CD format. This album isn't even listed on Wikipedia, which surprises me because anyone can edit Wikipedia pages. I was hoping to find maybe the album was released under a different title in other countries. But when I looked at the tracklist is actually different from the tracklist for The Day Is Saved. But the Internet Archive did mention that the album was released as Saving the World Before Bedtime. So I looked up that album title as well. And I found out from this website called Discogs that Saving the World Before Bedtime was released in Singapore and Australia. But even then, the tracklist is not the same as The Day Is Saved. I do see some crossovers for the songs in the tracklist for The Day Is Saved and Saving the World Before Bedtime. And actually some of the songs that are featured in the albums on the Wikipedia, there are some songs from The Day Is Saved that is also available on that other album. Sorry, are you guys following? I'm so sorry. But from my observation, I think it's possible that they already have these songs and then they decided to package it as different albums and release it in different countries. And that's why we have The Day Is Saved for Indonesia, and then you have Saving the World Before Bedtime for Singapore and Australia. Oh my god, what's happening? There's something in my throat and I wanted to get this done before I watched Nosferatu. Anyway, the tracklist for Powerpuff Girls The Day Is Saved consists of 16 songs, which is very generous, and I love it. Some of them are original songs that are featured in the series or are inspired by the series, but, and this is the biggest thing that I remember from this album, is that the songs include cover songs from artists like Britney Spears, Kylie Minogue, and Shakira. And it's not only the girls who are singing the song, it's also Mojo Jojo. And I have to say as well that this album is very 2000s because the songs that they sing are 2000 hits, and just the vibe of this album is very 2000, which is really nostalgic for me. The tracks include the opening, Can't Get You Out of My Head, a mashup of Oops, I Did It Again and Stronger, Whenever, Wherever, Don't Call Me Baby, Music, I Want to Be Just Like You, Freestyler, Up and Atom, Buttercup, I'm a Supergirl, Mojo, Shake the Room, Last One Standing, a Christmas medley. It's a Christmas album, guys. Like, you have an excuse to play the album during Christmas. Love Makes the World Go Round, the ending theme, and an outro. So I also tried to make a list of the songs that appeared on other albums, and here are my findings. So the opening is also available in Saving the World Before Bedtime Singapore and Australia, and is also available on this album called Heroes and Villains. Freestyler is available also in Saving the World Before Bedtime Singapore and Australia. Last One Standing is also in Saving the World Before Bedtime Singapore. Mojo Shake the Room is also in Saving the World Before Bedtime Singapore. The mashup of Oops, I Did It Again and Stronger is also available in Saving the World Before Bedtime Singapore and Australia. Up and Atom is available in Saving the World Before Bedtime Singapore and Australia. Buttercup, I'm a Supergirl is also available in Saving the World Before Bedtime Singapore, Australia, and also in the albums Heroes and Villains and Powerpuff. The outro is available on Saving the World Before Bedtime Singapore as well. And then I Want to Be Just Like You is available also in Saving the World Before Bedtime Australia. Whenever, Wherever, also in Saving the World Before Bedtime Australia. Can't Get You Out of My Head, Don't Call Me Baby, and Music is also available on Saving the World Before Bedtime Australia. So yeah, I definitely feel that they have these songs already available, but they just decided to package it into different albums and then release it in different countries. My review for this album is, these songs are bops. I love this album so much, okay guys. Like, the songs are actually really good. Especially for the covers. Like, what they do is, I don't do music so I don't know the terms. They incorporate the Powerpuff Girls theme into the instrumental of the cover songs. They also changed the lyrics a little bit so it can include references to the show, to the girls, and to Mojo Jojo as well. And that's fun because I feel like when you're doing covers, you should offer something new to that song. If not, like, I'll just listen to the original one. It's really giving aespa's Next Level vibes because that song is also a cover of a song that's featured in, I think it was Hobbs and Shaw, but it was a Fast and Furious movie anyway. I'm back. So this album is what we usually call media tie-in. But what exactly is media tie-in? According to Merriam-Webster, tie-in is something that ties in, of course, relates or connects, especially in a promotional campaign. From this, we can boil down media tie-in or tie-in content as additional materials to the main project. And usually it is used for promotional purposes. If we want to keep this in the realm of Powerpuff Girls, so the main series is obviously the main project, but there are media tie-ins that include things like video games, storybooks, comics, and of course this album and the other albums as well. Tie-in albums is actually one of the more popular forms of media tie-in. The most common tie-in album is usually the ones that feature, songs that are featured in the series or the movies or the project. So an example for this one would be the Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix album. But tie-in albums can also include music that are inspired by the project. So the Black Panther album features songs that are inspired by the movie, but they're not featured in the film, but they're available on the album. With this Powerpuff Girls album, I feel like it has a little bit of everything. It has songs original to the series, and it also has songs inspired by the series that might not have been featured in the show. But there's also a secret third ingredient, a chemical X, if you will.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
That was a bad joke. I'm sorry. I feel what makes this album incredibly special is the fact that it features songs sung by the characters. Don't get me wrong, this isn't anything groundbreaking because this actually has happened in the past. In fact, AV Club put out a list of novelty albums featuring songs that are sung by actors as their fictional characters. And this practice is actually pretty common in Japan, where they often release these things called image songs or character songs, and they're basically original songs sung by the voice actors as their characters. The K-On! Image albums are actually really popular, and I would say that the Haruhi Suzumiya character albums are actually very popular as well. People have been doing this for a really long time. But the question now is, because the image songs that are featured in The Day Is Safe are covers, can it be considered an image song? I mean, it's still sung by the characters. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. The importance of media tie-ins really depends on who you are asking. For corporations, obviously, media tie-ins help them promote the product, that is the original material. These things are created with the intention to cross-promote, to draw attention back to the original series, film, or video games, or books, what have you. And this way of marketing is less in your face than, say, ads. But that's the more capitalistic side of this argument or exploration. But if we are to see things in a more positive light, for fans, media tie-ins are great because it gives you additional content. So if you're waiting for the sequel or you're waiting for the follow-up, you still have things that can tide you over until then. But for creators and creatives, these media tie-ins are opportunities for these people to be involved in properties that they like in ways that might not be as obvious. What I mean is, maybe there's someone out there who is a huge fan of Powerpuff Girls, but they're mainly coders, and a way for them to be involved in a Powerpuff Girls project is probably to be a coder on the video game. So if you think about it, job opportunities can be created through the production of these media tie-ins. And that's always a good thing, job opportunities. But another thing as well is, this is something that is specific for creatives and specific for myself as a creative. These opportunities are a great way for us to upskill, and it can also serve as entry points into the industry. While you can have big names attached to the main project, you can have emerging creators be involved in the making of the media tie-ins because the stakes are not as high with, the media tie-in. But for the creatives, it's still a good place for us to prove ourselves and to, just practice our skills. For example, I had the opportunity to direct a couple of bonus episodes as a media tie-in for a web series that I worked on, and I get to write some marketing materials for a kids show where I worked as a script coordinator. Since I'm still starting out, I obviously don't have the credentials or the reputation to work on the main project, but being given the opportunity to do the media tie-ins, I can still use that job to network and to improve my skills and to also prove myself to these people that I can do the small task before moving on to the bigger things. Yeah, anyway, that was a pretty quick video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I love to hear from you guys now. Have you actually heard of this album before? I feel like it's so obscure because it's only released in Asia or Australia, but I would love to know if you guys have at least heard some of the songs that are featured on the tracklist I mentioned. On that note as well, do you guys have a favorite tie-in album? If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like as well, and of course say hello in the comments too. I'd love to say hi to you guys, and maybe Also consider subscribing to the channel. I post daily short, but every week I try to post a long form video. I just hit 200 subscribers and I'm very excited about that, and thank you so much for watching and for tuning in, I would say. It really means a lot, so thank you so much, guys. Yeah, have a good day. I'm sorry if this video is such a mess.